Hey folks, I hope that you and your loved ones are managing to live your fullest lives right now during this crazy time. While I'm really hopeful for better days ahead, I'm dealing with the here and now, and I'm sure you can relate to that. My company is busier than ever, and my teams use Salesforce for awesome synchronicity. I really wanted to start my own YouTube channel, and honestly, I often become discouraged because there's so many Salesforce content experts out there. I didn't want to simply serve up more of the same. I've also noticed that people sure do have a lot of free time on their hands, and there's some pretty fluffy Salesforce content on here. I wanted to do something special for the inaugural launch of my new Cooking with Salesforce channel, so I've decided that I'd do an interview. I'm one of LinkedIn Learning's authors, and I've created a variety of courses on subjects such as sales skills, digital payments, home sharing, e-commerce, and cloud technologies. Many of my courses educate learners on how to use Salesforce customer relationship management tools, also referred to as software as a service, aka SaaS. I've connected with one of my students on LinkedIn whose name is Gretta Musheghyan. Gretta is a hardworking young executive who works in the hospitality industry, and here's my unscripted interview with Gretta.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So you probably realize this is my first Zoom recording. So
Oh, yeah. This is probably my second or third.
Okay, well, I'm ready to get going if you are.
For sure.
Well, I'm going to start with introductions. So Greta, we met on LinkedIn, which is the world's largest professional networking website. It's actually a social media site, but it's the largest business-oriented social media website. And I took an interest in you because of the fact that you're interested in something that's a big part of my life, which is the Salesforce Cloud Customer Relationship Management tool. And I asked you to have a candid, completely unscripted interview with me because I wanted to see spontaneously, without premeditation or forethought, a way for you to react to like some of the questions I had about why do folks get inspired to use Salesforce tools? Why do they want to acquire Salesforce skills? So my first question is, I noticed that you live in Canada, and I wanted you to, of course, there's a lot of differences between America and Canada, but similarities too. But I wanted to ask you if you could tell me a little bit about your career there.
Absolutely. Well, I'm an experienced hospitality professional who worked within hotel operations for a while now. From welcoming guests to preparing for tour arrivals, all the way to creating standard operating procedures and helping my company to do major conversions. So I do work for the largest hotel chain in the world, Marriott International, and I'm sure you heard that a few years back Marriott acquired Starwood, where we needed to convert a lot of systems, and I was part of the team. I love working with people, hence why I did my business administration degree program with a focus in hospitality. And prior to that, I did my hospitality and tourism diploma program. Before that, I also worked in retail as an associate and also in leadership role. Actually, this past February, while I was doing my degree program, I also participated in the Marriott Leadership in Motion program, which is designed to take high-performing associates and supervisors and get them ready for management roles. So that's just a bit about me.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you just earned a certificate recently for the course Learning Salesforce Admin.
Yes.
Which, of course, I authored. One of the reasons why we connected.
Thank you. Yes.
Of course, it's my pleasure. And that's a course in the LinkedIn Learning Library. I'm curious about a couple things. One is, what's your relationship with the LinkedIn Learning Library? That was my first question. And then the next part about the two-parter, are you doing this for a career enhancement, or are we looking at a career change in the future? I was wondering.
Fair point. So to start with the first question, how I got into the LinkedIn learning, it actually started with me being interested in learning about Salesforce. So of course, this pandemic has made me want to get over my comfort zone and learn new things. And I've always heard great things about Salesforce. Actually, my company uses Salesforce as a service cloud. So I'm a bit familiar with that, actually quite familiar with that. But I just wanted to learn more about the company and about the #1 CRM system in the world. So I started with reading a few articles here and there, and I've found out about Trailhead, where you can learn more about Salesforce, and I guess you can ask a question within the community. So that's a great place to learn. I'm quite new, so I don't have many badges yet, but I'm working on that. And afterwards, I decided to start my free trial on LinkedIn, the premium account. And to my surprise, I discovered this whole library that was out there with all these great courses. I actually just signed up this month to the to LinkedIn Premium. And to my surprise, there were so many great courses that I was so interested in, starting from sales. And I discovered your course in there, one of the most popular ones. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I mean, I first took another Salesforce course, just learning altogether the system. And then I got into the admin course. It's a long course, right? It's almost 6 hours. But
right.
When I started, like within the first hour, I'm like, oh, this is really interesting, because I like how you focus on the sales aspect of it, which is my passion. And I do eventually want to get into sales. That was my goal all along when I got my degree, right after that, to get into a sales role. And am I doing this to advance my career, or maybe do a whole career shift? I'm still in the middle of the process, and I'm thinking I just want to, at this point, enhance my skill set.
That's great. Well, I'm glad. Of course, that's a sensitive question, and that we're most likely going to post this online, so I wouldn't want to rock any boats or upset anybody. So my next question, or I have a comment, which is that I'm a fan of Oprah Winfrey, and she asks every person that she interviews what their intention is. And Oprah says that your intention determines the outcome of everything that you do. So I'll ask you this question, and it's just a wide open question. Greta, please tell me, what is your intention in life?
In life? Well, my intention in life is to be happy. That's a start. But also my intention is that whatever job I take on, or whatever I start doing, that I somehow master that skill and I'm good at it. So eventually I can help other people to become good at the same skill set.
Nice. Beautiful. So what does life look like for, Gretta Musheghyan after businesses start to reopen? And how do you see Salesforce improving your life moving forward?
Of course. So once businesses start reopening, of course, the business that I'm in is very sensitive to the current situation. We rely on guests coming to us, and I love working with people. I love working with them one-on-one. But again, due to this situation, I'm trying to do something different. and use this time wisely to be able to come back to the workforce all prepared. And Salesforce, I mean, I read somewhere where that 70% of the Fortune 500 companies use Salesforce CRM, and I mean that says a lot. If I decide to let's say change to a different company or even stay within my company, it will be very useful to know the system. Plus, currently I know we use the Salesforce Service Cloud, but for our sales, we use a different system altogether. So in case, I mean, the biggest hotel chain in the world decides to implement the biggest CRM system for their sales, I will be ready.
Well, that's good. It can't hurt to have that extra knowledge, right?
Of course.
It's definitely helpful. I mean, knowledge is very important, and constantly learning is so important. Now, I'm guessing that a lot of businesses will be leaning more on remote workers, right? And because of, even when things reopen, they'll be leaning more on remote workers. Now, this is a very deep question. Do you agree with me or disagree with me that is going to be true for hospitality? And what does the future of business look like, in your opinion?
For the past few months, people got a taste of working from home and how it's going to look like moving forward. I do think that a lot of businesses will shift towards that, of course, if the business allows. I work in the service industry where our number one priorities are guests and to make them happy and just be there for them. So, of course, we will see a slight shift within my industry, but not as much as, let's say, other industries that you can do your daily operation just on a computer. So I do think there will be a switch. Our hotel chain does provide, let's say, mobile check-ins. So I think they will see an increase in the number there.
Gretta, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to experience my coursework, and I really appreciate it. You know, is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we conclude our interview?
I just want to say that it was a great course. It was very easy to learn, especially for me. I'm very, very new at the IT world. If I need something on my computer, I think I always call my colleagues in IT and I just say, hey, can you set this up for me? So it was a nice change to learn something and be able to do something on my own in that aspect.
I appreciate your giving me some time for my very first Zoom interview ever.
Amazing.
I hope you have tremendous success with your career pursuits, and you know that you can reach out to me at any time on LinkedIn.
For sure. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
And I do want to add something very quickly before we go. I mean, since I posted that certificate on my LinkedIn, I've got so much feedback. Actually, in my inbox, I keep getting messages, people asking me for the link to complete the course. So it is very, very high demand. So in case if you decide to post this video and people see it, I would recommend for everyone to follow you, and because you are very helpful with posting those links to your courses where people can take them for free in case if they are not ready to upgrade to the premium account.
Well, that's very important right now, especially because money's precious and people are having challenges with their employment. You know, anybody that's really in need of a career enhancement education, I want them to be able to try the free trials and get access to the unlocked courses. So, you know, I appreciate your saying that, and I hope that it's helping a lot of people. And really happy that we had a chance to have this interview. If there's anything else that you want to talk about, please reach out on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to assist you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure meeting you.
For sure, for me as well.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I didn't know what to expect for this, my first Zoom interview. Gretta is charming, smart, and inspiring. I'm glad that she and I were able to catch up so that I could exchange ideas with her and better understand the reason executives are seeking out not only my Salesforce courses, but how technology plays a role in their careers, especially during this very unusual time. Now, at this point, let me take a moment to kindly ask you to please click that like button. And if you'd like to stay tuned to additional tips and tricks that I'll be putting out on my channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me by looking up my user ID, Born to Deal. All my ideas for this channel will come from viewers like you, so I hope you'll take the time to go ahead and leave a comment. I'll reply to as many comments as possible. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I look forward to next time. Go get 'em.